Hello. Pow. I've got a quick announcement to make before I start doing my usual videos once again. I am going to be at the Lake Erie Book Fair this weekend. So that's going to be Saturday. Oh, let's see what day is Saturday, the 11th, from 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. in downtown Geneva, Ohio. That's not Geneva on the lake, Geneva, Ohio. So there's going to be tons of other writers there, not just me signing my book. But I will be there. I'll be signing books. I'll be there to talk, meet, greet, do all that fun stuff. And it's going to be a blast. Lots of fun. So I hope to see you there. Remember, so that's the Lake Erie Bookstore. It's in Geneva, Ohio. It's the Lake Erie Book Fair. Not to be confused with the Lake Erie Literary Festival, which is this September, which is going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania, which I'll also be at. So it's already shaping up to be a busy year for me. I've got 3 events. I've got the Lake Erie Book Fair coming up, like I said, this weekend. Be there, please. You're going to love it. It's a lot of fun. Downtown Geneva. That's where I grew up. Geneva, Ohio is where I grew up. So it's a great little city. And then after that, I've got the next one is going to be the Lake Erie Literary Festival, which, like I said, that's September. It's going to be in Erie, Pennsylvania, and then in October, I'm going to be teaching a class on horror writing for pen writers. It's going to be on the writers' road trip. So that's exciting too. I'm really looking forward to that because I have a lot of thoughts. I've actually been in my head working on a how to write horror book. So this is going to be me talking about some of that same stuff that I've been discussing for a while, and some stuff I've actually discussed on this channel with my short horror writing tips, which will be coming back as well. And that's pretty much it for the updates right now. Oh yeah, in October, we don't have an exact date planned yet, but of course it'll be notified here right away when that happens. But I'll be launching my next book, and that's Rust Belt Gothic, also through Underland Press, my main publisher for the moment, I guess. My main publisher, basically, even though I've gotten published with lots of like Apex Books and Third Estate Press and PS Publishing, who I love. Underland just seems to like putting out my cool stuff. Rust Belt Gothic is extremely interesting. This woman named Bear, that's her nickname. Her name is Ursula. She comes back to her small town after being gone for a while. She's in her like late 30s, early 40s. Is a recovering alcoholic and is obsessed with horror movies. And she likes to take apart horror movies to see how she can survive them, because as someone who's dealt with a lot of trauma in her life, that helps her deal with it. And basically this story is what happens when all those movies didn't help you prepare for anything at all, and she ends up in a messed up cosmic horror situation with alien time loop spiders hunting people in her hometown. So I'm very excited for this. This is probably the scariest thing I've ever written, and one of the weirdest. And yeah, it's terrifying. And I plan on doing some analog horror trailers for that. That's my plan. I'm gonna probably do that, shoot those in October, or maybe near the end of this month. I'm not sure yet. It depends. We've scouted out some locations that I plan on using that are gonna be really cool. I've got the basic trailer set up and ready to roll, so that's exciting too. And oh yeah, you can see this behind me. Usually my camera is situated in a different way, so you can't usually see it. But back there, this is reversed. Back there, you can see my projector screen. I've got a home theater now set up. Well, I've had it for a while, where I've got a home projector and everything. It's real nice. I really enjoy doing that and watching movies there, and I'm hoping to start projecting my own trailers and things like that. I'm really excited about that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think you saw my analog horror video probably a little bit ago. That's exciting. So I'm going to be doing more videos about that. I also plan on doing less short off the cuff videos like this. I'm going to be doing longer scripted videos, more like once a month, where I do deep dives into subjects. Or it might be like every other week. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to plan out the situation, because what happens, and the reason why I got behind is because, well, real life took over. I had a car that died, had to buy a new car. That just kind of takes over your life for a while. I've also got a day job and stuff, and I'm writing 2 books right now at the same time. I'm nearly finished with them, but writing those 2 books literally took up all my time. That was free time the last month or so, and that's usually how I roll. I usually write 2 books at a time, set them aside for a few months, and edit those books. And then they come out like a year or 2 year later after that. So that's why publication, like you hear me talking about books online, like on social media and stuff, and then like, wait, Paul, why don't we see those books for like 2 or 3 years, sometimes even more, sometimes 5 or 6 years after you wrote it? Well, that's why. Writing, even if I write the first draft fast, which I usually end up doing, it's a complicated process, editing everything else, getting a publisher, then that editor has their own edits, and it's a process. But then I think the end book is way more amazing than if we just spat it out, published it, that kind of thing. Well, anyway, sorry, off topic, but my plan is to do like longer form videos, which are like kind of like video essays, that kind of thing, on different aspects of horror and stuff I like about horror. Some ideas I've got that I've been working on. I have some thoughts about The Undead is going to be the title of one, which is all going to be about like zombies and how it's kind of like a game of telephone from when the first zombies started appearing both in fiction and in movies, and eventually how those got changed through the years to become something completely different and removed from the original concepts. There's a bunch of other ones. I'm going to do a post about horror writing in general. I want to do 3-book. I plan on doing clustered book reviews based on themes. So like I want to do one based on sentient black holes. And you're probably thinking, Paul, what? Yes, I've got 3 books. I feel like they all speak to each other in some weird way because they're all about sentient black holes, and that's Black Brain by Michael Sisko, The Cipher by Kathy Koja, and As She Called Across the Table by Jonathan Lethem. And so obviously 2 of these are horror. One is romance science fiction, and it's interesting the interplay between the 2 because they actually seem to like talk about similar things and stuff like that. So I want to that's a real interesting topic that I think is going to be cool. I'll probably do one on vampires, vampire lore and that sort of thing, and how it ties into my own books. I might do one on loosely themed horror trilogies and movies and things like that. What was the other one I was thinking about? That had a few more books than just 3. I can't remember off the top of my head. So this is why I'm also going to do less off the cuff stuff, because that way I don't embarrass myself by going, I can't remember off the top of my head. Because I may not look it, but I'm almost 50. So, age is wearing down, multiple sclerosis, that sort of thing. So, but, I've got all these ideas. So bring it back on topic. Lake Erie Book Fair this Saturday, July 11th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's in Geneva, Ohio. All downtown is going to be taken over by writers, and publishers and all that fun stuff. So that's going to be great. Oh, and another event that's, that's not coming up soon. It's coming up a year from a few weeks ago. So I'm going to be at the Stoker Convention in Pittsburgh, PA. I already got my tickets. I'm excited. If you're a horror writer, I hope to see you there. All right. And I think that is just about it. So like I said, I'll still be doing small little like video shorts and that sort of thing that will be off the cuff. I think I just did one a few seconds ago about my new keyboard that I just got. This thing is really cool. This is my Acco Dracula keyboard. I got it set up so that when you type, it bleeds red light, and it's also got these little thing there. And the keycaps are Acco's Dracula keycaps, plus this one I got a while back here. That's like skulls and stuff. See that there's like little skulls in there and like a crown and some birds. It made me think of the M.R. James short story about the Crown of Anglia, Warning to the Curious. That's what it was. That's why I bought it, which was made into really excellent ghost stories for Christmas from the 60s and BBC. If you get a chance, if you got Shudder, it's on there. Check it out. It's really good. And if you can find a copy of the short story, which it might be available online because I think it's public domain now, but it's also in like a billion, like any of these books, you see them everywhere. Classic horror stories, they're put out, boom. There's tons of these kind of things. If you search and search and search, I'm sure you'll find it. I'm hoping that somebody puts out a new collection of M.R. James's short stories. Because right now, as far as I know, in the U.S., there isn't a modern edition. You have to find like an old used copy, and it can be a pain in the butt to search and hunt it down and that kind of thing. And I prefer to go to used bookstores. I prefer to go to used bookstores as well as like bookstores in person, like Warner Books, the one down the street from my house where I live now in Erie, PA, or Lake Erie Book Company, which is in Geneva, Ohio, which I talked about earlier, to get my books. And that makes it harder to find anything by M.R. James. But his short stories are fantastic, A Warning to the Curious especially. So, all right. All right, I think that's it for now. Hopefully, I will see you soon with makeup on again, black fingernails even, and some long form essays where I dig deep into the horror situations. You'll enjoy it, I promise. All right, bye now. And remember, kids, stay spooky.